and cheesy stuff. There are two sides to food craving which I would like to elucidate. One is the market, the way the market caters to our food cravings. If you were to just make a call, you can have anything. You can order a pizza, you can order chaat, you can order pav bhaji, everything. And if you were to step out of your house, within just a stone's throw away is Mexican cuisine, Italian cuisine, Chinese food, North Indian, South Indian, and what have you. Now look at the social aspect of food. In one way, being human, we have to socialize, and food is very central to socializing. Be it a function, a festival, a wedding, you're out lunching, you are dining, it's a Sunday brunch, or you're having a party at home, you are invited to parties. Food is very central to all this. And the other aspect, socially, you're not supposed to look like a well-fed buffalo. You're supposed to look thin, you're supposed to look young, you're supposed to look limp and beautiful. A size 0, if not somewhere close to that. I didn't know this, but there's an environmental aspect too, which I'll soon tell. Earlier in my life, the only books I used to stack was how to cook food books. And these days it's only how to lose weight books. So that's the dichotomy of all our lives, I believe. When we are young, we are continuously given this information. Eat well, eat often, eat full. We need to eat more. We tell this to our children, and it is right because the child's body is growing, his bones are becoming, his muscles are adding on, his height is increasing, so on and so forth. And then there's adolescence, there's a hormonal rush, then he's becoming an adult, and so on. So if it is 30, our food habits have to peak. What nobody told us is that there's going to be a slide down, maybe at 30, 40, varies from person to person, where the body is just not going to take any more of food. It wants work, it craves work. But if you keep on chomping, the body is not going to take it. It's going to give you back in forms of acidity, in forms of putting on weight, etc. We have to give up on food one by one gradually. You may call it sad, but when we give up on food, it's not for a day, a week, a month, or a year. It's probably a fast and relapse. You have to believe and you have to agree and accept this. Till a dying day, maybe we can eat sparingly, but not much of the foods we used to love and we used to chomp on. Like first to give up, the food which you give up first is fried foods, followed by heavy foods, followed by desserts and chocolates and heavily saturated fats. Later on, we even give up sugar in our coffee and tea, and so on. It's a slide down. We are becoming aware, and we have to become aware. Now, what is the environmental impact of binging? I did not know that it could have. We speak that we want to save environment. Overeating is something we need to reduce in order to save our environment. And how? When you continually eat unnecessary binge eating and fast foods and food that is available because the market forces work in that manner, what happens is you're stifling a need, a demand. To cater to your demand, somebody is already up and he has decided he's going to go into the forest, cut down the trees, clear up the green patch, the wildlife will be auto-depleted, and then he's going to grow food crops to cater to this massive demand. So in a way, by overeating, you're not just putting on weight, or it's just not about your own health, you're also massively destroying the environment. We need to get aware of that. Now, how do we curb our hunger pangs? Not hunger pangs. How do we curb this food craving? One is, of course, exercise. Second is awareness, which has come through research and through media and excessive reading on these issues. But one very important idea that we should work on is that food cravings happen during a certain time. When we are lonely, when we are feeling low, when we are anxious, when we are depressed, when we don't know what to do. That is the time when food craving comes into your mind. Obese people, if you just show them pictures, images of food, a certain area in their brain gets activated. Now what's important is that we feed our brains with enough work so that we never have these cravings. There's so much to talk on an issue like food, but this is all all the time now.